Good morning. Good morning. This is Reginald Reeves, and I'm here with the attorneys from Justice League Law Group, and this is the Full Coverage Podcast. I'm here with the lovely Christian Reeves to my right.
Hello.
And the amazing Jessica Tellurian to my left.
Good morning, everybody.
We decided to start a podcast because we just be shooting the breeze at the office. We are personal injury attorneys, and you know, this is the thing to do now. So as a way to communicate with our friends and our clients and just talk about the things that we talk about in the office, we talk about different things, hot topics, the culture, the law especially, because we all deep down inside are just nerds. We're just cool nerds. So one thing that's been on our mind lately, and we keep up with the current trends, and one hot topic is the dancing in the Fortnite game. So everybody know what Fortnite is. You know, if you know any kid, you know what Fortnite is.
Or grown up. Not just kidding.
Well, yeah, and grown ups, but basically it's a platform where you can play for free on any device, your phone, your PlayStation, your Nintendo Switch. You go into this virtual world and you start shooting each other, and the purpose is to stay alive the longest. So that's what I can gather. I tried to play it a few times. But within that game, even though it's free, you can actually buy upgrades. I know my nephew is always trying to get $10 out of me because he wants to buy some skins or he wants to buy a celebratory dance. And what has happened is a lot of these dances are being stolen, as you can say, from the culture, from artists. One artist named 2 Milli decided that he was going to sue for his little Millie Rock dance. Now, I don't know how to really do it, but, you know, that's kind of
Don't
something.
try.
You want to show us a better rendition?
No, I'm not really into that that type of situation. No thanks.
So, you know me, I can bust a move every now and then, so, you know.
It's looking a little stale.
I don't want to do too much because I don't want 2 Milli to sue
I
me.
just realized this is cute. You guys have the green on together. I like that.
It wasn't planned.
It wasn't planned.
So that's what happens when you're married for too long. You guys start dressing alike.
So yeah, so basically they're sewing up on this premise of a copyright. I got I'm gonna do a Webster dictionary. It's not the dictionary they probably have in their complaint, but the online dictionary for copyright is the exclusive legal right given to an originator or an assignee to print, publish, perform, film, or record literary, artistic, or musical material, and to authorize others to do the same. And then we talk about choreograph.
Right.
Can that be copyrighted? Some choreography? Can you copyright a choreograph or choreography?
I think the difference is distinguishing between choreography and just a simple dance move such as the basic waltz step. So I think that's the big differentiation that the difference that Fortnite is trying to make, that these are not choreography. This is just a basic step that they should be able to replicate and not have to pay the artist for. So we're looking at a couple different cases here. We're going to be looking at 2 Milli, who has obviously the Millie Rock. We're going to be looking at Ribeiro, which is Carlton, and he has obviously the Carlton dance. And then we're also going to be looking at the Backpack Kid, who they've stolen his dance as well. So you didn't do the Carlton dance, Reggie?
It's not unusual. That's the dance right there.
Okay, and so, and then there's also Donald Faison, who's the character off of Scrubs. He's not suing like the rest of them, but he did send out a tweet saying basically that he was flattered, but he may need to contact his lawyers. But I think it was more so in jest because he hasn't actually filed a complaint at this time. So, Christian, do you want to talk about Millie Rock's dance first?
Like, how does this affect the culture?
So I want to touch on culture, the culture portion. So Chance the Rapper actually had a quote. He tweeted something. This is what he tweeted. It was July 13th, 2018. He stated that Fortnite should put the actual rap songs behind the dances that make so much money as emotes. Black creatives created, that's what he said. Sorry, it sounds kind of weird. And popularize these dances but never monetize them. Imagine the money people are spending on these emotes being shared with the artists that made them. I think the artists, their major concerns are the fact that the music is not played while these Fortnite characters are dancing. They're stating that there's cultural appropriation. Also, JB Block Boy or Six Boy, Block Boy, whichever one you would like to call, he also has a dance on there as well. When he found out about it, he actually was kind of proud about it, but then now he did reply.
I think that's what it was before. I think at first it was a sense of pride, like wow, because the Floss kid is still he did a TMZ interview. I'm just happy my stuff is being recognized. But I seen the Block Boy JB little shoot. That's in the Pizza Hut commercial. Now I don't know if they paid him for it. But I think that's a big thing that these companies, because the thing with Fortnite, you actually have to pay $10 for these dances.
And the artists are not being compensated for that. So they don't have a contract with Fortnite. They don't have anything. So basically, there are dance moves that are being created, I don't know, in the hood, while they're dancing, while they're, creating their artistry or whatever.
All right, but let's take it back to the hood, like you said. So who creates these? I think the one problem with trying to copyright a dance or trying to take credit is, you might make something popular, but you might not have actually created it. So should it be a line that you have to prove that you actually created it? Or this might be a dance from your hood. Like, growing up here in Jacksonville, we had the whoop. I don't know who created it. It's just a dance here. If you're from Jacksonville, whoop. Woo,
you never heard of it?
No.
Yeah, like that was a dance that came from Jacksonville. I didn't create it, but I just said I got really famous. They had the song "Whoop There It Is." Like,
oh, that's what that is.
Yeah, so if you had something like that, like they made it famous, but they created. If somebody does it in the game, should the 69 boys get paid?
Is it the person that made it viral should get paid, or is it the person that created? We don't know who actually created these
So tell
dance
us what
moves.
you think out there, because we would like to know.
Well, I think it goes to if you're going based off of the Webster's dictionary, it talks about the originator, and I think that when we look at the Backpack Kid who didn't originate that dance, and we look at Carlton who admittedly basically took two dances and put them together and added his own spin on it, he's saying he didn't create those dances either.
And does he even own that dance because it was on the show? So does the show?
That's what I wanted to talk on, because I actually researched this morning, and they were stating that Carlton, he might not even have a claim, because even though he created and performed the dance, he was acting on a TV show and he was a performer on it. So it may really be work for hire that it belongs to the show's producers. And they stated also as an example, if you're an elf and you create this great toy in Santa Claus's workshop, and it's gonna be Santa Claus's, he's gonna have it. It's not gonna be the elf's, because you were working under Santa Claus, so it's not gonna necessarily be yours. And like the statement was literally, if you're an elf working at the North Pole, making toys for Santa, and while doing so, you come with this great new toy design, the copyright is belonging to Santa Claus, not you, bro. Sorry.
Y'all are saying Christian, she's always very detail oriented. And excuse if you hear anything, we're in a live office in the Justice League studios, so we got work going on, so we try our best to give you guys a sterile environment.
We might have a new case. I might have to get up and go sign it up. I don't know. But we gonna just keep it real. I think that's the best thing to do.
Right, you're gonna get a lot of real from this podcast. So let's talk about some famous dances. One that comes to my mind is the moonwalk with Michael Jackson. He wasn't necessarily the originator of the moonwalk. He just made it popular. I think James Brown did the moonwalk, and there was somebody maybe back in like the 30s or 40s. I seen a black and white video of some guy doing the moonwalk before that. But
I think there's a difference between paying tribute to someone else that, I hate to say this, but a black person paying tribute to another black person, and a big mega conglomerate where the owner of the business is worth $8 billion, basically taking something that you created in the black community and then appropriating it and selling it to little white kids for $10 a dance. I think there's a difference between that.
But Michael Jackson didn't just pay tribute. He made that his signature move. Like, when you think of Michael Jackson, you think of the moonwalk. I mean, it's hard to quantify. I think what you're trying to say is harder to quantify the moonwalk's value, because Fortnite is literally saying pay $10 to be able to do this move.
Well, the other thing is Fortnite also, they didn't even name, they kind of had like a nod to the original people, but they didn't really say it up front. It's like Fresh is Carlton's, Hype is Sick Boy, Block Boy. Like, that's not like paying ode to the actual creators of the performers.
Chance the Rapper, like you said earlier, he said, put the music in the game. And that way you can give the credit where it goes. Now, that might not work with the floss dance, but bring the floss kid in to let him be a part of it.
But I think it's
Sure
funny
enough.
how literally for
If you're
really,
gonna
I guess-
steal, give some credit. Period.
That's not the American way, though.
I think it's funny how they're so brazen. They literally call the dance "swipe it," like swipe, like let me steal that.
Swiper, no swiping. And that's the American way. I mean, Fortnite is doing what they're supposed to do, but it's our job as lawyers to pull it back and say, hey, no, you're going to pay. And we'll move it forward now for people. Hopefully some of these will win. Maybe not all of them. I think the Millie Rock guy will have a strong case because I think he'll have an easier time showing that this is my dance and I put it in film and he can say he's the originator. So I think he'll have a better chance, but I don't know about Carlton. I don't know if he owns the rights to that dance or the TV studio owns the rights.
What I think is interesting is they already settled with a certain female about one of her dances, but the other people just did not raise a claim. So she's already gotten her cut of the money, so they're going to have to most likely pay up.
So what do you think about this? Like, I think some people, and I'll ask the audience, do you think it's just a cash grab, or do you think these people should get paid? Like, it is a cash grab.
I think they should definitely get paid. And
because it turns from flattery, like, wow, they use my dance, I'm popular to. Wait a minute, you made $300 or something $1 million off of selling
in 1 month.
selling dances. How much of that are you making off?
They have the money. I think that they're gonna settle. In my opinion, that's just my opinion.
Well, I think an issue with the definition when we're talking about whether or not they're actually legally entitled to any money is, like I brought up before, differentiating between choreography and individual dance move. But I think that the reason why that definition is the way it is because typically when you're looking at some type of choreography that may have been done for a movie or might have been done for a performer or however it is, that is, there might be a small arm gesture, but that specific arm gesture doesn't really correspond to this one arm gesture Beyonce did doesn't correspond to this is Beyonce. Whereas we have these small dances now that are becoming such an integral part of specific people, like for example with Millie, his name is To Millie, the dance is the Millie Rock. It's such a big part of him. Without that dance, there is pretty much no To Millie. And so I think that just because the law might be one way right now doesn't mean that the law is not something that's ever changing. Right now we're in a new generation that was never here before, where people are becoming multimillionaires from YouTube. People are becoming overnight sensations based on these small dances that they're doing. Like Shiggy, he had a dance that basically had Drake's.
And Drake paid him. I think
I don't know. He said he was
supposed to get paid.
And
right?
speaking of
like
Drake,
$25
Drake
was supposed to pay. I don't know.
Speaking of Drake, Drake wants his Hotline Bling dance in it, and he told Fortnite like, "Hey, if y'all cut the check, can we do it?" And they didn't respond. So
but Drake didn't even come up with the Hotline Bling dance because I remember when that came out, it was they showed like a video of somebody else doing it. So I think when it gets to the courts, it's going to be, can you show your originator? And the defense is, I bet you Fortnite's going to spend a lot of money in discovery finding other people that did it, but then they're going to run into a trap because the person who they find is going to say, well, I'm the originator, exactly. I want the money. So it's a lose-lose, but it's going to open the floodgates up for lawyers like us. So, I'm definitely interested in going to be looking into this matter myself for sure. So I think that's a good place to wrap up discussion. I just want to know a little bit about my co-host here.
Okay, so my name is Jessica. I'm from Michigan. I went to the University of Michigan for college, and then I went to Florida State College